Very good. Okay. That's perfect. So I'm honored to introduce you, Professor Giselle Alvinchier. She is a physician and a writer, and I'm very happy and excited that she accepted our invitation. Thank you so much, Giselle, and we'll listen to you.
Thank you so much, Gabriela. It's a big honor for me to be in front of you, to be with you, and to talk about my story about one of my patients' story. I hope you will like it, and I hope that it will touch you because I had a very deep feeling about that patient and her poetry. I'm glad to have an opportunity to share with you. I will make a share screen.
Yeah.
This is your second edition of summer school, but it's my first time. I hope that
we have a problem with the sound, I think. So
yes, the connection.
To be with you several times because narrative medicine. Do you hear me?
Not very well.
Oh, now is it fine?
Yes. No, it's okay.
Okay. It's your second summer school and it's my first time. I hope that I may have an opportunity to be with you for a long time because narrative medicine is recently became a part of my medical practice. Even though I wrote short stories, poems, since I start to know myself. Actually, I used writing to learn about myself since I was a child. So I'm very happy to reach that level to share narrative medicine experience with the specialists about this subject. And my hand in your hand is a nice topic to be shared. And my presentation is a part of healing narrative, to heal myself while I'm dealing with a hard case, mostly with the short survival or having such a pain during my practice to see that patients and feel like I cannot do much for them. To heal myself and to heal my patient, I found a way through healing narrative medicine. And this is a story of that adventure. I put a topic like from morbidity to immortality, because I think that immortality is only for sapiens. We have the opportunity to have immortality at the end of our life, the life that we know about it, by productions. And my patient was the one who made me recognize that it's possible if we produce, if we left behind some productions, that we can reach immortality level. So it's in our hands to be immortal. My loving patient was 18 years old. It was more than 10 years now. And she had a disease we call primary pulmonary hypertension. She was 18, and from the books, from the articles, I knew that only 3 to 5 years ahead. Knowing that information at the beginning of the diagnostic procedure for an 18 years old young lady, it was so touching, so depressing thing also for the physician, you can guess. Possibly some of you have the same experience. And that young lady came to my office with a young boy. He was her boyfriend at that time. And they were so similar, lovely, full of energy and full of life. And they didn't know what were waiting for them. I gave the diagnosis, but didn't talk about the prognosis for sure. It was so hard. To my practice, during my general medical practice, I'm trying to give the reality, the real information, being realistic, but trying to keep the hope with us. So I also knew that there are some rare cases didn't follow what the books and articles say. So I told my patient the diagnosis. I told that I'm there to help her during that process, during that time period. And unfortunately, it took 3.5 years to reach the end. She's dead at the time of 3.5 years period. I followed during that period and I shared her story in detail. You will see during the presentation. I tried to keep myself hopeful for her. I tried to solve her problems, mainly the dyspnea, which is one of the most life quality destroying symptom. And it was increasing during the time. After her death, I received a phone call from her mother. 6 months later, her death. At the time period, I didn't meet her. And my patient always asked me about me, my age, my daughter, and she frequently said that I'm her second mother. It was so depressing to know that she's not with us anymore, but it was very interesting to have a phone call from her mother, her real mother, after that 4 years. She called me and said to me that she has to come to see me. And I gave her a time, tried to make it a free time, that knowing that I wouldn't be disturbed by other patients and other works. And she was in my office and we looked each other and we shared our deep feelings against each other to lose a patient and a daughter. And she gave me a notebook, and my patient's mother told me that this is a poetry notebook of my patient. If she could live 9 days more, she was expecting to bring it to me with a necklace she prepared for my birthday. Unfortunately, she couldn't live that 9 days, but I received the notebook with a big surprise. And she told me that they read the book, poetry. They cried a lot. And by keeping that notebook, they will let the notebook destroyed or being forgotten. And the reason was explained as I could use that notebook, whatever aim I prefer, to make her immortal. It was a last will. And it took 1.5 years to open that notebook for me, because I also lost my patience. And it wasn't easy to read what she wrote, even though I was the trigger who forced her to write poem, because one day I suggested her to write whatever she felt. I hoped it will help to relieve, because it always helped with me. It was my way to handle the problem. So I made the same suggestions, but I didn't know that she took my advice unless I had the notebook on my hands. I read the notebook. Poetry was so deep and full of life lessons, as you will see, for ordinary people and for young or senior doctors. And I started to share that presentation with my young colleagues and my students to show them that we are dealing with human who has biology, psychology, and sociology at the same time. When we gave a diagnosis, it changed the psychology and sociology of the patient. This is such a story. I used some photographs with the poems, and the first one came from internet. I searched for melancholy, and I found Ophelia from Millet. I decided to look closer what was melancholy with my patient. And I tried to focus on the aim of that presentation. This is my way of thinking. When we leave, they'd better call trace instead of blank what you left. And may that trace serves as a track for the ones coming behind. I really hope that those poems will help all of us to find a track. Let me be your ocean. Let me heat your shore. Let me be your sun. Let me heat your inside. Let me be your wind. Let me caress your hair. Just let me not be your winter. Let me not give you a chill and lose you forever. She found a way that don't let me to lose her forever. Nature is everywhere. A beautiful day, the beauty of the fall that makes the day beautiful with its unique colors. How strange is the bird? It finds and gives itself the right color. People cannot find it mostly. Even if they find it, perhaps they do not use it rightly. I wonder which color is the right one to carry. Do colors tell everything? I'm thinking every part of life is difficult. There's fear of the life in every part, even in the nature. I feel cold in a way different from every other time, like never before. I feel cold not on my skin, in my heart, never ending. The winter has settled well. It's not giving way to summer. I cannot find a solution. Even bread and meals get tangled. I do not want to eat. I wonder if my time will come soon. That doesn't come with hunger. When does it come? It doesn't say. Waiting for it will feel difficult. It will better not come. It was hard to wait. We certainly can see it. We have dreams mostly in childhood and being youngster, but sometimes reality burns. It hurts. A butterfly's life, limited to one day, but full of moments, free as it swings, a life painless. What if we also had one day life? Can't think about it. What fits into that day? Desires beyond the expectable. Difficulties easily called as obstacle. Regrets from what was inevitable. Yes, as my doctor said, even if it's just one day to live, it shouldn't be wasted by grief. Life is already short. That might be just close. If I will die tomorrow, today was the day, he thought. That poem is very, very important for me because, as you see, there is a sentence from me. Once, when I'm seeing my patient as a biology, I found a way to give that sentence to help her. And I have totally forgotten that I told once. Even if it's just one day to live, it shouldn't be wasted by grief. This is just one sentence that I gave in a time to a young lady to help. And you know what? After such years, I found that poem and remembered my sentence while I was wasted my time by grief. It came as a boomerang from out of blue, came and took me to the place that I'm going deep, deeper, the deepest, and took me to life. It was my sentence, what protected me, and I fortunately told that sentence to another person to be carried by time to myself. If we stop saying the things that may help to other people, we also may lose the opportunity to be saved another time. In the darkness of my room, behind the locked doors, no one could open. While waiting hopeless, just so, a light to be turned on, I said, right, it's all over. You never let come to the end. It's you I'm talking about, all my beliefs and my thought, not just a doctor of my disease, also a person sign of lines. Even I worry to fall down, the one who hold me in advance. As a doctors, as a people who wants to help others, we really must show them that we will never let them to fall. To be such strong, we all need to be good at our profession and in communication. They are together. To be a good physician is not enough to make a good connection with the patient. So it's together, never let come to the end. Behind that smiling face, I wonder what sadness lies. Without minding her sadness, she burns with passion for duty. Who could believe that those soft hands hold lesson? That the doctor lives beneath that benevolence? One who shares my joy, cannot bear my sadness, fills my day with delight. Who could believe she was a doctor? Why she couldn't believe that I was a doctor? Because of the archetype of a doctor. So serious, just talks about the illness and the hard reality to be handled. But it's possible to make it behave like as a doctor not the way that our patients' perspective. To me, she's unlike a doctor, remarkably different. She's closer than my family to me. She always listened to me with respect. There is something different in her. I do not know what I must call her, mom, sister, or my doctor. How can someone manage to smile all the time? God's secret angel, let illnesses fear her. Her heart cannot stand defeat. She gave the clues to my students, to my young colleagues, to your students, to your young colleagues, that it is important to listen with respect, smile all the time, and cannot stand defeat. We have to make illnesses fear. In Chinese, word listen consists of ear, eyes, heart, and undivided attention. If we give our listening, hearing, seeing, looking, heartbeat, beating for their health and wellness, and our undivided attention, it will cause an effective listening, what my also patient showed. What keeps a person upright is morale. I feel upset, I cannot get better. I know I can be happier, that's morale. It was the time that we found some drugs during the process and helped her to feel less breathless. But her psychology went up and down. It was the time that she started to learn computer. She started to win the course on computer, using it. Even she was just graduated from primary school, couldn't find the opportunity to enrich her education. At the middle of the disease, she decided to learn computer. One day she came the most depressive mode, the worst psychological state, and I unfortunately asked her such a weird question, because it was my fear from the beginning of her class on computer to find the opportunity to search her illness from internet. And I asked her, I saw you very sad and depressive. This is the first time that I saw you in such a bad situation from the beginning of your disease. Did you start searching your disease from the internet? It was a big fault, because she answered me like, oh, I didn't notice before that I could search it from internet. And I start to explain, I worry because always the worst scenarios are on internet, and I didn't want you worry about it. We are doing well, we are improving your situation. And I've learned that I shouldn't ask questions with certain answers. It should be open question. I may ask, what is the reason of your such a bad depressive mode? And I could get the right answer. So I talk about learning from the faults, better way from the other's fault. So I share with you such a bad situation I was in to show our students that they may keep themselves away from such a fault. Always ask open questions to your patients. It's a very basic principle of a good communication, but when you have a anxiety, you may forget what was the principle. So we always have to think about what we have done, what could it be better if we did in another way. And the rest of the story of the comers and leavers. This is one of my previous poems. Some comes with countless hope, others go with a silent farewell. Some enters from a big hall, others leave from a gateway. Comings shine in heavenly manner, the ones left steal my lightings. Her mother, she was worrying about an alcoholic husband and 3 children. One is my patient, who was the oldest and sick. The other one is a son in high school. And the other one is just 6 months old. And she was so busy with daily life things and couldn't reach her daughter at the time that she needed the most. I do not complain that you gave birth to me. I complain about myself for what I made you go through. I want to throw myself away, to stop tormenting you. I know no matter how much you say, you do not complain. There is a place inside you that's hurting a lot. Don't worry, it will end. All sadness will end. Love will be ours. Those who see will envy. Our enemies will be eaten up by jealousy. She tries to make her feelings up. And the alcoholic father. You will see what she wrote for him. And as a surprise of it life, after my patient's death, I think 3 years later, he came to see me and had the same diagnosis. Behind your dark layer, who knows when a smile would appear? From your locked up mouth, when a lovely word will be whispered. I know how difficult are those for you, but I wish you'd not deny us your love. Touch of Azrael is warmer than you. What if you wouldn't put anyone through grief? What if you would be a remedy to our sorrow and would fill our heart with love? Even just a word to be told to you, like the pains of hell, you didn't make us taste your love for years, and we couldn't tell you our sorrow full of worries. I'm sure one day you will see your faults just before turning into unrecoverable mistakes. We don't put the blame on you. The shame is on the one who withheld love from you. Hope he will get the meaning of being loveless, would feel grief deeply, would repent for his merciless life. Hope to see him kneeling in front of you while begging for mercy and love. She didn't put the blame on a father. Also, she said that his touch is colder than the touch of Azrael. It's so interesting that she didn't any bad thing for her father, her mother, and also she's very keen to her brother and sister. The king of brothers, the cure of despair, the address of my neediness, my brother with a heart of benevolence. May no obstacle convey. May sadness never fill your heart. May you never lack cheer. May you be happy in life. There will be those who will upset you. Your heart will be filled with indecision. Two choices will be presented to you. Choose the hard one. Do not be defeated. You do not like defeat. Even if that day comes you tired, never give up. I'm sure that those words made strong to him. And the youngest, 6-month-old sister. Yes, kid, I do not envy you. I do not want you to taste a life without love, but I know you are different from us. You taste love. I know it will continue. Everything doesn't end with love nor achieved with money. You will not know what I have experienced. You will never understand anyway. When you grow up, I will have overcome these hard days long ago. You wouldn't know what I would have given up to be in your place. Claim your purity and cleanliness. Do not be fooled by the pretense of love. There are things I will tell you, you'd better grow up fast. Life is too short, says the moon. If I cannot make it with you, look for the right kind of friends for yourself. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it for the youngest sister. And the other one, once boyfriend, then husband, then her ex, because they were kids from the same village. They married with a big love. At the beginning, they accepted the illness and health to be shared together. But after 1 year of marriage, the mother-in-law insists on a baby that they couldn't give her a grandson or granddaughter. And she insists on the divorce. And a young boy couldn't resist to his mother, and they divorced. Within these 3.5 years, she watched that her husband became someone else's love, and they were expecting baby when one patient died. I had made the mistake for trusting you. I thought you were here to stay. You turned out to be one of the runaways. Perhaps the love of manhood is to run away. I thought you belonged to me, but you left the doors to your heart wide open all along. You became the throne to others. Never mind. Do not rejoice in vain. I have not been defeated by life yet. I will fight and show you my power. My life will be your punishment. In her situation, so many people may look for another kind of punishment. But I'm so touched for her power, inner power, to find the way to say, my life will be your punishment. We make 6-minute walk test in a corridor, and it's a measurement for walking distance in the corridor. It's a number to predict survival for physicians, not for the patients. The corridor of a hospital, the meaning of life. One who doesn't know the corridor also can't know what it is life. I have born in a corridor, the place I owe my happiness. I want to cry out my freedom when I'm dancing to the end. I love the corridor, where I discover other people. It's the only place we understand each other. sorrow could be shared, respect easily ascend. Even some injuries exist. It's only I feel in peace. I look to corridor in different way afterwards. I should run, free as a bird. No, I can't, anyhow, still could tramp. I love walking, but envy other people. When they watch me closely, I decree, even get angry. They stand when can run easily. Don't understand them. Stop walking for empathy. Lose my patience while waiting the day I run eternally. She couldn't understand us that we stand where we can run easily. She was happy by just walking. So if we can run, we should run, not stand still. People tell me I'm cheerful. My sorrow is in my heart. My cheer is only on my face. My happiness is in the past. My joy is in the hospital. My hatred is toward life. My heart is toward people. My anger is toward myself. She couldn't put the blame to anybody but herself. Sometimes we feel alone. We need to return to our own profound. Why am I supposed to turn around and run? What if I wouldn't return to my own profound? I wonder who will understand me. My problem is not my illness, neither money nor the marriage that ended. I cannot tell anyone my sorrow, nor do I want to. But I do not want to carry it any longer. I look for ways to throw it all away. I look for a new engagement so that I do not feel useless. I pray day and night so that it doesn't end when I find it. Writing gives a way to throw it all away. Hope and hopelessness in the same place depends on the perspective. I'm like a prisoner, like someone who is in jail. How difficult it is to be a prisoner, not being able to do anything, being dependent on others. How difficult it is to feel insulted. Who knows how many people experience this feeling every day? I feel it for years and I do not have any more strength. I cannot pull myself together. Life itself feels heavy, but do I not have the right to live? Yes, but how? I want to live free, happy, and self-reliant. I want days full of joy. I want to run endlessly. I want to live every day fully. When we completely exhausted all the unique moments of life, when all the companions left one by one that lonely survivor, while staring behind them yearningly, or possibly being by some reminder, there is another beginning in the photographs and memories. Yes, we always try to keep something in one piece, but sometimes we are the ones who became pieces. So we should share, look inside to find what affects us in such way, in what way, and by sharing, talking, telling stories, writing them, reading them, we will hold ourselves in one piece. Thank you so much for holding me in your hands in one piece.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much, Yüksel. I'm so touched. I think that's what the weightlessness of real imaginations looks like. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. It was always healing to tell, to share.
Thank you.
I may have comments, questions.
Please. No, it's the moment.
I know that it's not very easy after such a strange feeling.
You have beautiful comments. Thank you so much. It was beautiful. Such an honor to be able to have a look at their thoughts and feelings. Thank you. But
thank you.
Please, I invite you to speak. So.
Thank you for nice comments. Thank you.
Okay.
I accept all with a pleasure and honor. Thank you so much for the reflection. If there is no,
I might have a question.
Okay, sorry, Andrei.
Did you see your patient in a different way after you read the poems? Or did the poems affect the way that you saw the patient?
Yeah, for sure, it affected me so much. I'm a doctor for 30 years, and I always wanted to look as a social psychological way to my patients. I always spend time, but what affected me so much? She was just like one of my patients. I didn't carry her feeling after my work, after seeing her just for her appointment. But I could see what continued in her soul and heart about me. That there are poems that she shared her feelings. One has that behind her sadness, she tries to help us and smile always. It was so interesting because I thought that I could hide my sadness. We are all humans, and with a patient and a physician, there is a communication between two humans actually. We are interacting and learning from each other. She taught me about life, death, illness, and health. And after reading her poems, I accept all my patients as a source of wisdom, knowledge about life. And it helped me so much. Luckily, I wrote a book consists of 8 of my patients. The first one was my that patient. This is as long as our heart beats. I can translate like that. It's in Turkish. And the other 7 patients also has very unique lessons to be learned from a patient, not only for physicians, also for human beings. Because feeling such a deep stress, sadness, worry, happiness, joy, hope, hopelessness, it increases the wisdom. And if we open the gate, they are happy to share us. It changed me in that way. I more easily open the gate of my heart in front of the patient. Being a professional is always talked about among the physicians. We have to be professional because we are the ones who has to help for the biology. Okay, we have to be good at our profession, but to have feelings is not against the profession, no. It makes you more profound, and like that way, it's more easy to help patients to be healed in biology and also in soul, heart. I found that lesson after my patients' poetry support. Yes, I hope the answer is fine with you.
Thank you for the answer. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Andre.
If I may, I wanted to say that I used to have a very cold view about physicians and how they interact with patients. And it's such an inspiration to see someone such as you try to be human and connect with them. So thank you.
I thank you. I'm not the only one, and some of you are medical students and you will be the others. And I'm trying to share with my students as a book. I send them, all of them, as a PDF. I look like, it's my perspective actually. I have to be a good model in front of them because they will be my doctors in the future. My daughter's doctor, my parents' doctors. So we need to increase that amount of awareness. I think so. Pollyanna, thank you. Sometimes it's perfect time. Thank you for nice comments. I'm copying them. I will collect them as a souvenir from your nice summer school.